Hey guys, how have you been? Hope you're all doing well. And I know you guys all know about this contrived event, probably pre planned well in advance, that occurred just recently on the 6th. Now, I'm not going to sit here and debate as to whether or not it was Trump supporters or it was other groups. To me, that's not really all that important. What's important is that whatever this was, it was planned. And honestly, it was probably planned by foreign agents who have an interest in toppling our government. Um, since they haven't been able to do it overtly, they are going to make attempts to do it covertly. And it's very sad to see. Having said that, that doesn't mean that there weren't, genuine people that invaded the Capitol that were genuinely behaving like barbarians, essentially. And I don't think that whatever it was, I don't think that what happened was right at all. And to me, it's really sad. To me, it's really sad to watch my country that I lived in most of my life just go down the tubes. And it's really sad to see that. There's no question anymore that the empire is falling. The stock market is ripping higher and ripping higher, just like it ripped higher to no end when Venezuela collapsed. And by the way, for those of you who didn't know, Venezuela is now entirely a digital economy, 100%. So we can probably say that that was a test subject for future countries that will be doing the same. Um, also, regarding the goat man with tattoos, here's another reason to think that it was Matrix pre-programmed, contrived. Was I'm sure some of you have seen the Simpsons episode, or there's been a meme going around of that Scottish maintenance guy from the school dressed up almost exactly like the horned man that was in the Capitol. And even with the same tattoos, and those tattoos on their own are incredibly relevant. And I'm going to share two videos down below explaining. One of them explains why that is relevant, and how it has everything to do with paying homage to this antichrist figure, whatever you want to call him, because that's what all these rituals are ultimately about, is to bring him in and bow down before him. Having said that, what's even more astonishing to me, even than those events, are the push for a second impeachment. Now, I am no fan of Trump by any means, and I clearly understand that he too is part of this film reel contrivance taking place in order to bring about specific events to happen in a certain way. Now, he may not even know that as a person, but he is being used as a host body and the pawn, just like the goat man, the horned man in the Capitol was too. That's how this stuff works. Uh, it may be subconscious. You may not even realize that you're being used. Um, but still, having said that, I frankly find this second impeachment to be disgusting. It is just so over the top. I think it's wrong. And I'm not condoning a lot of things that Trump has done over his presidency. There's a lot of bad things that he's done, like derail all the nuclear programs. But still, this is over the top. But that's not really why I'm concerned. I'm concerned because of a testimony that I may have actually shared on my channel before by a guy called Kenneth Leth. Now, he was on the Trisha Barker show. I've been on the Trisha Barker show as well. I've met Trisha Barker. He had a near-death experience in which he was shown future events, and his experience occurred in the 1960s, before Kennedy was assassinated, and he witnessed the assassination of Kennedy, and he witnessed the Vietnam War and things of that nature. So he said that after Trump gets impeached, in his vision that he saw, he said that things started getting really bad, which to a degree was true. But I'm not sure if he noticed that there would be a second one. So perhaps he was referring to that one because he isn't entirely sure himself. And the date set for this supposed second impeachment is also of great concern to me because it is one of my highest watch time frames for this entire year, being the transition into the month of Aquarius. The month itself, which I think may be significant. So it's planned for like the 20th or 21st, which he's already not going to be president. So I don't understand. I don't understand all this stuff, guys. It's total insanity. It's over the top. The whole thing is just like it's obviously leading to war, which is also what Kenneth Leth said. And that is just so pathetic and sad if we end up in that route, which seems pretty obvious, like we will. And nobody wants to live in a war zone. You can ask people who've lived in war zones how great it was for them. And it's just so sad. I don't even have any words to describe it. Especially for children having to grow up in war zones. There's always a chance for a miracle, but it seems like the train has went off the rails at this point. And we'll see how it plays out, but I'm really upset about all this, guys, and as I'm sure you are too, that it's gone down, that we've gone down this low. Having said that, some good news. My stepdad for Christmas, he did give me this Native American. I'm not sure of what tribe this originated from, this sort of flute, but it's called a bear claw flute. I think it may have been Pawnee or something like that. I haven't really learned how to play it yet. Sort of, but I've always loved the Native American flute, and I've always admired the sound. And forgive me if I screw up, but I'm going to make an attempt to at least play something. does sound pretty beautiful, doesn't it? And last but not least, before I let you go, uh, that's another thing we have to keep in mind is the Native American betrayal. Is it coming back to haunt us as a nation? The broken promises and the broken treaties of when the white man settled in certain places, they would make agreements with the tribes that as long as we can mine your gold, we can live in harmony together and trade and all this nonsense. But ultimately, what ended up happening was greed ended up winning. And what we are witnessing now is a level of greed on such an unprecedented scale that I don't even think that you can compare it to the oil barons of the early 1900s, because we have bloated into this monstrosity that is horrific to look at. And is that going to come back to haunt us? Is that going to come back to bite us back, those broken promises? Because sooner or later, natural law does play out. And the song by Johnny Cash, he sings, you could run on for a long time. You can run on for a long time, but sooner or later, God will cut you down. Now that's words to think about for today, for us on a personal level as well, and our own conduct and how we can do better. Not a whole lot of dreams yet, guys, so not much to share on that regard as well. Have a good one.